Hello from the grocery store parking lot. A quick theme today is actually inspired by where I'm at, but it's the power of living as though something doesn't exist, or living as though you hadn't heard of something, or it's just not an option. And this begins for me probably 15, 16 and odd years ago. My older brother, one of his friends, we were out in my family's van or whatever at the time, and we were trying to figure out, what we're going to eat. And he said, we started listening to some options. The guy says, oh, I don't eat fast food anymore. And we're just thinking like, what? Like everybody eats fast food. What are you talking about? You don't eat fast food. Everybody eats fast food. And so sure enough, yeah, he stopped eating fast food a while ago. Felt better, saving money, eating his own food, whatever. And like in general, probably healthier. And until that point, it hadn't really clicked with me that you can just decide that's not a thing that I do. That's not a thing that I choose to participate in. Right? In the same way as, like I personally as a vegan, there's lots of foods that I don't eat. The important thing to realize, some people are like, oh, aren't you always craving X, Y, or Z? And like, no, not really. Because that doesn't look like food to me anymore. Like I pass it on the shelf like I would pass something that's literally for somebody else. It's just not for me. It doesn't interest me. And all kinds of areas in our lives this can affect us, whether it's distractions, whether it is certain bad habits that we've started to form. They're things that, and it's not to say that you're like living in denial of its existence. Like I know there's a whole meat section there I just passed by. And nor is it like it's totally denying yourself something that you really like or enjoy. Like, I like a diet soda, so even if I don't want to have too many of them, it's not like I feel like I have to live as though they don't exist. But that there's still a lot of power to be had in, if there's something that would be dysfunctional for your health, dysfunctional for your work, counterproductive, to be able to consider the possibility of like, okay, even if it's something that everybody else does, even if it's something everybody else thinks is normal, even if it's something that, you've done up until now, realizing you have the power, and no one else does, but you have the power over yourself to say, I'm going to live like that doesn't exist. In my imagination, we're going to pretend like, let's say you, just as an example, it's clearly hypothetical, eat too many Snickers bars or whatever. You could just think in terms like, okay, what if either Snickers had never been invented, or what if it was only sold overseas in Germany, which maybe you're watching this from Germany, but somewhere far overseas from wherever you're at. And then, or what if it cost $800? And in either of those cases, you'd probably figure out like, well, I'll pass. And the craving becomes lesser. Or, it's a case where maybe you've been playing too much of a certain game lately and you start to think to yourself, okay, well, what if for a few months can I just challenge myself to be in the frame of mind, not permanently, not to the point of denying yourself basic enjoyment or whatever, but if it's your bad habit you're forming, World of Warcraft or Dark Souls 3 or whatever it might be, to be able to give yourself that challenge of what if I just imagine for the next few months that like the game wasn't out yet, or wasn't released in my region yet, or that I didn't have that console, or whatever it is. And that extra step, it can sound like more work, but that extra step can actually kind of make it easier because it sort of cuts it off at the middle. It says that I'm not even going to let that become a consideration, or I'm going to rule it out on some sort of grounds that even if they're fictitious, might be easier than having to just sort of concentrate on it directly. So hopefully help somebody out there, whether you want to work in more reading time by having a little less time with television, whether you want to get more work done on your project by having fewer other things that you have found as a habit are luring your time into them. Again, just consider the possibility of playing with the idea that it doesn't exist to me. Or temporarily, it's as though it's beyond my budget, it's out of my scope, it's out of my reach, it's not released here, it doesn't exist yet. However it helps you to think about it, there's power in being able to imagine and live within your imagination as though that's just not a thing. Gives us a lot more control, one more tool, one more sort of dial in our self-control of how we decide what we're doing with our time, what we're doing with our lives, how our health progresses, how our projects progress, and so on. That's it for the day. Thank you for joining me here, sitting in this car in a parking lot at a grocery store. Have another video for you all tomorrow. Bye for now.